By the way, let's put the date on this. September 4th. It is 9/4/18. And the topic is order of operations, but the essential question for the day is, how do negative numbers affect simplifying an expression? What's going to happen there? So here we go. Let's review our multiplication and division with negative numbers rules, like what happens when we have two positives. That's what this means. If you have positive times a positive, where are we? So if we have something that I call the same sign, if you have same sign, then you're going to be positive. If you have different signs, that's when we're going to be negative. So if you have the same side, you're turning out to be positive. Different signs, we're going to be negative. I can't stress enough. If they have different signs, it's going to be negative. Same with division. Positive divided by a positive stays positive. Negative divided by negative stays positive because same signs. Same signs. Negative divided by a positive, different signs. And positive divided by negative, different signs. So example 1. Let's somehow iterate that this is example 1. I'm going to try to get better about that, but example 1. Negative 9 minus 2 in parentheses times 3. So GEMDAS, we're going to do our grouping symbol. We have negative 9 minus 2. So after trying to think about negative 9 minus 2, that little thought, I'm going to back it up. All right, so that's a total of negative 11 inside parentheses, and now let's multiply it by 3. Different signs are going to be a negative 33. Next example, let's write it down. So this is example 2. I'm going to try to get better about this, making sure I write down that it's the second example in case I want to go back to it. Let's evaluate. 5 minus m plus p for m equaling negative 2 and p equaling negative 6. Just like last week, anytime I'm going to put in a number, I'm going to make sure I have parentheses around it. So it's going to be 5 minus negative 2 plus negative 6. So a little thought means you don't have to write it down. But same sign positive, different signs negative. Let's try to start embedding that in our brains. So we have 5. We have minus negative. That's a multiplication. So you've got the same sign. We're going to change it to a positive. Let's see if I can change it to a different color. So bold it or whatever. 5 plus 2. And then we've got different signs. So that's going to be minus 6. Now let's recall those circles. You've got 5 positives, so I'm going to represent 5 positives plus 2 positives, and then 6 negatives. Every positive goes away with a negative, because that creates a 0. We call them 0 pairs. So a positive with a negative becomes 0 pairs, and it goes. Every positive cancels out with a negative. Positive cancels out with a negative, and you start canceling out positives with negatives until nothing else can cross out. So what are we left with? We're left with a positive 1. It's a lot better of a visual, and when we physically cross out a positive with a negative, we can definitely feel more confident about our answer. 10 divided by the quantity, 8 minus 10, and then subtract 7. To do 8 minus 10, so if I have 8 positives and 10 negatives, and you start canceling out, so like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you try to match them up, 6, 7, 8, you're left with negative 2. And then here, we've got positive 8 divided by negative 2. My bad, mistake. So it's supposed to be 10 divided by 2, negative 2. Not sure where I had the 8. But anyway, different signs. It's going to be negative. So 10 divided by negative 2, we're looking at negative 5 minus 7. After drawing it out, this is our final answer. Next example. So I'm going to do the most grouping symbols are here, and I see a double sign. And now I'm going to do the parentheses. I've got 2 negatives and 3 positives. Within the parentheses, we've got a 1. So negative 6 plus 1. So negative 5 is the answers here. Next example. 7 times negative 10 minus the quantity, negative 3 minus negative 2 squared. Watch those double parentheses. So instead of minus negative, it's a double sign or same sign, positive. So we've got 7 times negative 10 minus negative 1 squared is taking negative 1 times negative 1. Wait, which is going to be a positive 1. So different signs negative. We've got negative 70 minus 1. When we combine 70 negatives and 1 negative, we're left with 71 negatives.